Hey everybody, welcome back to the latest Wonder Woman Says. We've been having quite the week. I know we went to the movies last night. You probably saw that video. What we had to say about that.
And not only that, I got a mood ring. Hold on, let me check. Yep, still in a bad mood.
Sorry to hear that, baby. But yeah, we're gonna review some more comics tonight. I know y'all probably been waiting a few days, but we ain't forget about you though.
I mean, I kind of did. I was asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I know you like to sleep, so
I do.
yeah.
I'm in my pajamas right now.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is after midnight after all.
Well, that would certainly explain why it's dark out.
Yeah, it's almost always dark when we film anyway.
You know, you might be onto something there.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Seem like Marvel's really putting out a whole lot of different branches of the Avengers as of late. Because if you recall, a while back we reviewed the first issue of a title called The Savage Avengers. Had Conan, Cloak, Dagger. I think Elektra's version of Daredevil had somebody else in it too. But this is yet another lineup. Now it's called the All Out Avengers. I swear I'm losing count how many different Avengers there's been throughout the years now.
Well, let's see. There was the Avengers Wolfpack. There was the Millionaires Club. There was the Latin Avengers. There was the Blue Avengers.
Yeah. And I guess they might be getting some ideas. They watching this. Oh yeah, before I do get into anything, I will say this is extremely cool right here. This is an advertisement. I really like this. I probably won't buy the watch, but this is a work of art right here.
Truly, although why would anyone buy a watch in this day and age?
Well, you'd be surprised. Sometimes I just don't feel like pulling out your phone, look and see what time it is.
But it just gets caught in your sleeve all day. It's irritating.
I mean, people like to wear bracelets, so it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, funny I mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, you're throwing down the gauntlet, aren't you? Ah!
Yeah. I will say, though, this is a very star-studded lineup here. If you can see in the camera, Captain America, Spider-Woman, Thor, Blade is even in this, Iron Man. Did I say Captain Marvel?
Yes. And you got Thor and Spider-Man and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
I will say this book wastes no time getting into action. The first thing we see is a possessed Captain Marvel. She's pretty much threatening Iron Man and Thor. Like, which one she gonna kill first? Of course, neither man gives a straight answer to that, so she decides for them, starts trying to go after Thor. Iron Man tries to fight her back with his lasers. That doesn't really do much to help the situation. But Captain Marvel quickly retaliates against Iron Man. Iron Man's like trying to talk some sense into her, but she's just not hearing it. Although she's thinking about sparing Iron Man because she thinks he might be of use to the queen, so to speak. The queen that has her possessed.
Move your fingers. Alright, keep going. I was going to say, it looks like Thor's gone Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were just watching that video the other day, Thor versus Vegeta.
Yeah. I will say, they've been drawing Thor all kinds of different ways the last few years.
Yeah, actually, now that I got a second look at it, he also kind of looks like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, he does a bit. Yeah, because I seen that Jane Foster comic we reviewed a little while back. He looked a bit different there. That was only a few months ago.
Well, back then he could only do Kaioken times 3.
Here we see Blade, Captain America, and Spider-Woman. Yeah, that's an awkward team for you. They infiltrate a spaceship. Blade's initially confused as to how this all started, but It's just a momentary bout of confusion for him as it starts coming back to him quickly. You see more of the Queen's henchmen come in. Captain America tries to fend them off with his shield.
Well, obviously, he's Captain America.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah. Then we see Queen, trying to figure out how you pronounce her name. I think it's Queen Iraq, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to go off of how it's spelled. And she's the villain of this whole issue. She starts saying that the Avengers are no match for her, basically. And she summons her henchmen to come help her out against them.
They're all wearing bird masks.
Yeah.
Well, that took quite a turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, nope, nothing?
I'm not,
bird, turn?
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Thought I was losing my touch there for a second.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I ain't gonna spoil the rest of it.
I gotta say, that's such a weird lineup. Blade, Captain America, Spider-Woman.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, and Thor. And...
Well, I just mean those three in that one scene, though. That's like the hardest game of fuck, marry, kill ever.
Yeah. It is definitely a lineup you never thought you'd ever see. I don't know why Marvel's doing all these different Avengers as of late, but I gotta say it is some pretty interesting team-ups you thought you'd never ever see, because you wouldn't think Blade be associated with these people at all. Especially since his stories tend to take on a very different feel from the stories of, say, a Black Panther or Spider-Man. Blade's almost like more of an adult character than all these people.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad Marvel did this, even though I guess this is yet another Avengers title I'm gonna have to keep up with. I think the artwork is great as usual. I think I have to give this book probably have to give it a 9.5. I really did enjoy this. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I like this. It's probably the greatest Avengers they put out in a while too. Yeah, I hope this lasts at least a few years. It got a lot of potential. I know this would make one strange Avengers movie too. They ever did it with this lineup.
Or maybe they'll add Ant-Man.
Oh, what?
Maybe they'll add Ant-Man.
Oh. Well, I'm going to take you back now for a blast from the past. There's another team that got started back in '93. This is their first issue, the Justice League Task Force. Like similar to that, Avengers, this is yet another branch of the Justice League.
Yeah, like, I was just thinking about, like, back in the 90s, there were, like, a couple dozen different iterations of the Justice League.
Yeah, there was Justice League Europe, Justice League International. Actually, JLI actually appears in the back of this issue.
I think there was Justice League Antarctica, which was just another name for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think it was something else too. Justice League.
I mean, there was Justice League Quarterly, but that was just the name of the magazine.
Yeah. I'm glad DC cut back on all that stuff, because that was just overkill back then.
I mean, it gave some of the lesser-known heroes a chance to shine.
Oh yeah, they did.
Ooh, Coneheads! Love that movie!
Yeah, that was a great movie. Hell yeah. Well, first, we see the Martian Manhunter.
Channeling Greg Louganis, no doubt.
Yeah.
Look at that. He has got muscles on muscles.
Yeah, this is drawn back in the 90s. You see all that detail.
Did Rob Liefeld draw this? Like, legitimately?
No, I don't think he was in DC at this point. They said like Sal Velluto. These were some names I don't think people would recognize, like Dave Michelini, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Jeff Albrecht.
Well, I know that's a name I've never heard. Dave.
Yeah. Well, turns out the Martian Manhunter was trying to stop some French separatists that are trying to get Quebec to succeed from Canada.
Succeed.
Secede from Canada. Simultaneously using this building as a front for their operations. That is until the Martian Manhunter starts to break everything up.
I gotta say, he's getting some really dynamic poses in here.
Yeah.
Like, normally they only pose the women like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, like I say, this is a different time in comics. This is like they're starting to, you know, really try to, I guess you say, go overboard with some of the art and all that kind of stuff.
Well, there's no kill like overkill, I guess.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the office, a couple of people are being held hostage by somebody that's working with the separatists. Of course, the guy pretty much tells them to get rid of the Martian Manhunter while he's hiding in the corner. And fearfully, they oblige and they get the Martian Manhunter to go on his way. As soon as he leaves, the guy tells him that he's going to have to kill them because he don't want to leave any witnesses. But luckily for them, the Martian Manhunter, he comes back and stops the would-be killer from killing them. We'll say this story's pretty interesting so far. So far, we are talking about like a Canadian terrorist trying to get a part of Canada pretty much taken off of the official map and all that.
Huh?
Then meanwhile, we go to this place called Sonoma Island in the Caribbean. They got these rebel soldiers trying to go on a mission of their own, and they're trying to go stop the president, Ramos. I think that's how you say his name. Ramos.
From doing what?
He's just trying to assassinate him.
Okay, because it kind of sounded like you were, in the middle of a sentence, and then you stopped.
Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of that choke pronouncing his name. We're back in Washington, D.C.
Oh, and there's Reagan, the bastard.
Yeah, he does look a lot like him. He's pretty much like arguing with his partner about like how he feels like he's above what he's being asked to do. They're getting ready to go to a special meeting.
Ooh, Super Mario Brothers movie.
I didn't like that movie too much at all, even though I was excited when I first saw it as a kid. Here they're being briefed about what's going on. They're being told about how Sonoma Island's in danger, how the president's being targeted for assassination, how they gotta get somebody to stop it, meaning they need some members of the Justice League to be called in. The guy doesn't really want to help out, but he knows he's kind of in a position where he can't refuse because they threaten to tell all the news outlets that if he doesn't do the mission, that they're going to tell him he refused, and that's going to look bad on his record. He pretty much kissed his political career goodbye if he doesn't take this mission. When the meeting's over, he's like real angry too because he didn't want to take part in this, but he feel like his back been pushed against the wall. And back on Sonoma Island, the people who were getting ready to assassinate the president still on the island doing their thing.
They're on the same island as the person they're trying to assassinate? They're mad.
Yeah. Some soldiers try to come at them, but they fend them off with their armor and their soldiers.
Hold on. What's this?
Oh, it's that little Justice League card that they put in this comic book. They used to do a lot of novelty type of things like this back in the day, especially back in the 90s. And you see this person who was under the leader's control, giving them this special armor that could take out soldiers quickly. Meanwhile, the Martian Manhunter gets back to his apartment. Look like he's about to turn back into John's until the guy walks in that's gonna pretty much ask him if he's up to do his mission that he's gotta complete. Here's where we see the Justice League International. They're in England fighting this sea creature in the sewer.
Okay, I see Green Lantern, Flash, Power Girl, Dr. Light, Elongated Man, Aquaman, and Vixen, I want to say? Lady in the brown outfit right there.
And Vixen black, so no, that ain't her. That's a white girl. That's somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know I've seen her before. I just forgot her name.
Speaking of which, who's the guy?
Oh, we talking about the guy is like doing the missions.
Yeah.
I think his name Hannibal Martin. I think I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Pretty funny you named him Hannibal. Yeah, pretty much tussling with this monster Aquaman. Make sure work of him. Keep in mind fighting in the sewer of all places. After they take care of the monster, they go back to their mansion that was reserved for their headquarters. There's a funny comment that the Flash makes too. Talking about how Aquaman needs to take another shower after being in that sewer water. But then a special news bulletin comes on the TV. I'm surprised they managed to get Fox logo on there. This is when they find out about the situation in Snowball Island. They're told that they need Aquaman and the Flash. They're reluctant to go. Well, the Flash is reluctant to go, but of course they know they gotta go because, you know, they're superheroes. And here we see Gypsy.
Ooh.
Yeah, she look real nice in this issue. She
Mm-hmm.
kind of wandering the streets after she done lost her latest gig.
Yeah, it's a shame the name's going to keep her from coming back because Gypsy was an underappreciated character.
Yeah, she was. And Gypsy's like not liking how she's getting hassled by the cat callers and all that kind of guys. She goes into a department store looking to change up her appearance. She becomes a mannequin briefly. The store owner doesn't like how she looks as a mannequin. Talking about how they think they should get rid of the mannequin, burn it and trash it and all that. But meanwhile, as she stands there, one person isn't fooled by her because one of those people happens to be the Martian Manhunter. He convinces her to come back to the Justice League even though she doesn't want to do it because of what happened the last time where the Barons are getting killed. But she said she'll do it if she get a bonus. Then that night, the heroes finally told what they gotta do. Because they're not really liking the situation too much. Out of the blue, because Hannibal wanted Batman, but he couldn't get him. Instead, he ended up getting Nightwing.
Oh, I'd forgotten that outfit.
I don't really care for Nightwing very much at all, but this is very cool right here.
Yeah, it's a cool drawing, but that collar is a statement.
Yeah. And like I said, that's their mid-90s kicking in right there. First they start arguing about how Nightwing shouldn't come along since he was never in the Justice League before this, since he was a Titans member. But Hannibal says that, you know, Nightwing is in, but he also tells them what's gonna happen. He pretty much tells them that like some forces of good are pretty much gonna have to lose in this whole battle in Snowball Island. They just kind of leaving on this cliffhanger for this first issue. You know, this issue had a bit of a globe-trotting thing going on. 1 minute we in Washington, next minute we in London, then the next minute we in the Caribbean, then the next minute we in New York.
You know, it's funny. It seems like, you know, the Justice League dealt with a lot more analogs for the Contras in the 90s than they ever did in the 80s.
Yeah. Somebody who doesn't really read the Justice League spin-offs as much, I guess this is pretty okay. It's very of its time, obviously. You can tell by looking at the cover. This is obviously drawn in the 90s. This couldn't have been no other decade. I probably have to give this a 7. I think it's a good story for what it is. I mean, obviously it doesn't compare to like the main Justice League. None of them spin-offs do. But I guess this is probably as good as you're gonna get as far as a satellite Justice League goes, if you want to call it that.
I will say this though, the spin-off books did a lot more about, you know, trying to do the gritty realism thing than the main Justice League ever did.
Yeah, like some of them, they kind of went off on their own little thing, tried to be different. I'll give them credit for that. Actually, this is kind of like that. This is kind of almost, you would kind of compare like some Indiana Jones type of thing, the way they keep flipping from country to country and state to state and all that kind of stuff.
Alrighty, so out of 5.
Oh, actually, yeah, I made a mistake. I said 7, so out of 5, I'll give it a 3 then. Okay.
Alright, well that's alright, I'd already forgotten what you said.
Yeah.
Because if you couldn't tell from my pajamas, I am in fact kind of sleepy.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat my breakfast soon as we get off of this little thing we got going. Oh yeah, I will say next week though, we're gonna film this movie in Texas. That's gonna be a fun experience.
Yeah, they got me a cute little kimono to wear. Tee-hee-hee-hee.
Yeah, this is gonna be an experience we ain't gonna never forget. Neither one of us ever been to Texas, so I don't know if one of y'all recognizes. Maybe y'all could say hi or something.
Oh, and before we go, I did want to point out you have a new wig.
Oh yeah, I love it too. The lady that worked up at the 7-Eleven up the street from where we live, she let me have this for free. I couldn't say no to this.
Now, I'm not surprised someone would give you a wig. I'm just kind of surprised she had it on hand at that exact moment.
Well, you know, she was seeing me there a lot, so, you know, she kind of was expecting to see me that night, so. Because, you know, I'll be like kind of going out the same days, the same nights.
Alrighty, so be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, share on social media, ring the bell.
Yeah, thank you for the views too. We only 2 views away from 2,200. I can't believe it. The year ain't even finished yet. That's really cool.
Alrighty, so if there's nothing else, love, peace, and chicken grease.
See you next episode.